Good.
Well, it's warmed up. We're going to go out to the carriage house and grab our bathroom tile.
What's it up to?
We're up to 12 degrees. Yeah, a little heat wave going on. That's better than the -8 it was this morning. It's a cold one today. The snow warming up to 12 degrees. So I figured if Tia Weston can work on her house in -24 in North Dakota, I can work on mine.
Greetings from Fairfield. We are Richard and Kendra, and we are restoring this cool old Victorian house. We found this old Queen Anne for sale on the internet and decided to buy it. So we moved from the West Coast to the cornfields of Iowa. So join us as we explore and restore this 1896 Victorian mansion.
It's a cold one today. Greetings from Fairfield. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to find out if we have enough tile to restore our bathroom in our master bath. And well, if you're new to joining us, we're hoping to de-renovate our master bathroom, going from something like this to this, and well, hopefully to that. Yeah, so you can see where that was. It's about 20 inches. So we've been through this crate. This crate is actually kind of cool. Check this out.
California.
So I actually sent a picture to an expert that actually collects stuff from that grocery store down in Iowa. What was that, Burlington? What was that?
Yes.
It's in Iowa somewhere.
Burlington.
Where do you see that?
At the very bottom.
Burlington, Iowa, right there. 1910, 1920 on this crate, according to the expert. And it's got some broken pieces left in there. But all of this tile was up in the attic. Now, a lot of this stuff has remnants of plaster on the bottom. Now, they stuck the tile directly to the plaster to stick it to the wall, because you could see the little tracks right there where it slid right in. So there was no additional glue. They just stuck that onto the wet plaster and then grouted it in. And good news, we have enough baseboard. That fills that in, and we have 3 extra pieces here. 4. We got 4 extra pieces on top of that. So that's great news, because that was going to be, that would be hard to match. Like this is pretty common stuff. Antique white, 2x6 subway tile. I think that's 2x6. What is that? Oh, 1.5. 1.5 by 6 on those. Those are fairly common. But that, on the other hand, that would have been a problem. And we have enough of these curved pieces for the cap. So we have enough of these. That was my next big concern, because those, again, are fairly unique in size and color, but it looks like we have enough. Matter of fact, we even have what I believe was notched out here for an actual corner piece, where those overlap and come together as they are in every corner of the bathroom. And it's the only one notch, so that was definitely there. That was definitely there. And there's plaster here too. So it's like one big jigsaw puzzle. So we have enough of that. I think we've got enough of the wall tile for this. I'll do with measurements. So, because we have this crate that was out in the carriage house, that's full of it. And we have the bucket that I pulled off the wall. So I'm pretty confident that we've got enough for all of that. That's not the same as what they did here. That was added later, probably in '64 when they did all this, because that glue went all the way up the wall. And that stuff is super hard to get off the wall. So I will likely break this off and replaster this, so that way this will all match. So this will all be replastered, and then we will add our new tile. So that is next. Now, also in that same crate, we had these colored tiles. Now these are a match to the fireplace tile in one bedroom. This is a dining room. I think that's the dining room. For the mantle of the dining room.
That could be the guest room.
And the guest room. But these are extras. A teal green color, aqua, a blue, a pink, and this
Speckled.
spongy brown, I guess. We got 4 of those. I thought I had more of these. I may have taken them out of the crate and brought them downstairs to that mantle that we were putting in to see what it'd look like. So I'm pretty sure we had equal stacks of this. Now this pink one is unusual, because when I was cleaning out one of the horse stalls in the carriage house, we got more of this buried in the horse stall, which is really bizarre. So I don't think that these were just extra, like samples. I think they were used, because I found, I don't know, at least 10 of these buried in the horse stall. So, like in the ground, just leveling out the dirt to put a pallet down and just raking the dirt out to level it out, I kept pulling up pink tile. So that's a different mystery for a different day. And then at the bottom, we had this one, a giant piece. How big is that? 6. So we have a 6x6 that matches this color, same thickness, and it has that's old glazing, old cracked glazing. And there is no make on the bottom of that. No make on the bottom of that. However, there is a make on the bottom of these. See, they actually used that one. These were used. These came from in here. But there are some new ones that don't have anything on them. Probably this one. This one looks nice and clean. Yeah, look at that. So there's all your info. Anybody recognizes any of those companies? US, ET, LIS, WK.
Indianapolis.
Oh, Indianapolis.
Yeah.
US, ET. Works. From Indianapolis, Indiana. So our bathroom tile came from Indiana. All right. Now, next. We did come up short on our hexes. And so out of all the ones, and we got plenty of blue. We actually even have more blue. More blue. So the blue's not going to be a problem whatsoever. Yay. Because we are going to fill this in up to about here. So we need a few more hexes here, and we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yes, we will.
And as far as I know, those are all of our boxes. And we're also short 3 of the, what size were those?
Border squares.
These border squares. We're short 3 of these, 3x3. So these are 3x3s, and we're missing, put that back up there. So that goes up there. All right, we're missing 3 of those. Now, again, those are fairly common. These are probably fairly common too. So out of all the things that we were short, and some of these are broken, right? Like that one's chipped off the side, so you might as well count that as a loss unless we put it up there. But not too bad. Not too bad. We will have to start looking. Some of these still have the concrete on the back. So again, while that concrete was wet, they just pressed this right on down. And the majority of these blue ones are all brand new. These don't have any cement on them. There were a few that they kept, but I bet you the ones that they probably did not survive. And so for those, they probably just, and you could see the impressions here on where these were. So these were just stuck right down to the wet cement. And so our plan here, we're gonna get some of the that self-leveling thin cement, and we'll pour it out and get a nice level surface to lay the rest of our tile down.
And we'll figure something out about that, right? The hole.
Yeah, we're gonna fill that in with concrete as well. So we'll block that. We'll do a block, and then we'll just do a little concrete fill there. I don't know where those tub feet are gonna fall, but we'll have to take some measurements, and we'll plot out where the feet are gonna go and how far that's gonna go, so we can, when we do our new plumbing, we'll know exactly where it's gonna go. All right, well, this is what we're looking for. Octagons, 3-inch square with a 1-inch angled cut there. They're 3/8 thick. And so since we believe they are made by the Intostic Tile Works Company in Indiana, that'd probably be a good place to start. And so there's a couple architectural salvage places there that I'm going to reach out to and send them some pictures, because I'd much prefer finding some originals than trying to find newer reproductions. But if anybody has any recommendations on a good source for old tile, drop them in the comments. We'll check them out, because we need to get about 20 to 30 of these to complete the floor in here. And well, these go into the tub anyway, so they don't have to be a perfect match. And so next up, we've got enough of our wall tile and our caps and baseboards, so we can get started on the wall next. All right, cleanup on aisle 5. But wow, that worked great. I was watching Tia Weston work on her house out there in North Dakota, and she had used a oscillator cut to separate the plaster to only remove part of the wall, and without tearing up and cracking up the rest of the plaster, and that worked out fantastic. And so, of course, the work she does there makes ours look like a slow ride to grandma's house. But anyway, that worked great. So now we got a nice level surface here to work our tiles. Well, I think that'll about do it for this week. So stop back by the house next Saturday when we attempt to plaster our wall.
Have you ever plastered before?
No, but how hard could it be?